Hi everyone, welcome to Monday Mentoring Moments for Young Women. I'm Dr. Chris Strobel, award-winning author, keynote speaker, founder, and a grateful believer in Jesus Christ. A few weeks ago, I did a video on the sad reality that many Black women and many of you young Black single mothers will never get married. I talked about you have to come to terms with that, feel the sadness, and then forge a path forward for your children. So you may be wondering why that is. Why is that sad reality? Why does it even exist? And this is what today's Monday Mentoring Moment is all about. I'm going to talk about why, and I'm going to make 3 points. So number one, why is just sheer numbers. There just are not enough available men for you to marry. And if you consider the number of Black men who are incarcerated, add to that the number who have a different sexual orientation, and add to that the number of Black men who prefer women of other ethnicities, there just simply are not enough available men for you to marry. So that's point one. Point number two is marriage is not popular. And I was having a conversation with a friend maybe 2 or 3 months ago. He and I grew up in the church together, and we were having this conversation about why a lot of young people don't get married. And he said something that I thought was very, very telling. And he said, marriage isn't popular because church isn't popular. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. Marriage isn't popular because church is not popular. So that's point two. Point three is the reason for this sad reality is that a lot of men have an underdeveloped sense of emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is being able to understand your emotions and regulate them. And it's a very important skill to have a healthy relationship. And so that's one of the reasons. And in order to solve that problem, men have to be willing and put forth the effort to increase their emotional intelligence. And that's not something that you can control. They will have to put forth the effort and a willingness to do that themselves. So what is within your control is teaching your children, coaching them so that they have a high level of emotional intelligence. And this book here is a great resource. It's called Raising an Emotionally Intelligent Child. And it's by John Gottman, PhD. He's a professor of psychology at the University of Washington. And he's the author of Why Marriages Succeed or Fail. And he's the author of Why Marriages Succeed or Fail. And this is his book, Raising an Emotionally Intelligent Child. And so that's the third problem is you have a lot of men whose emotional intelligence is underdeveloped. And they will have to put forth the effort to do that. So key takeaways, the reason for the sad reality that a lot of Black women and Black single mothers like yourself will never get married is number one, sheer numbers. There just are not enough available men. Number two is marriage isn't popular, and marriage isn't popular because church isn't popular. And then number three, there's an underdevelopment of emotional intelligence by men, and that will have to be developed before they're emotionally healthy to have a marriage. And you can't control that, but what you can control is making sure that your children having a healthy emotional intelligence. And this book is a great resource, Raising an Emotionally Intelligent Child. So this is today's Monday Mentoring Moment for young women. I'm Dr. Chris Strobel, award-winning author, keynote speaker, founder, and a grateful believer in Jesus Christ. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and every Monday afternoon when I upload a video, you'll receive notification. If you're watching on Instagram or TikTok, just be on the lookout for reels that I'll post throughout this week. So again, thanks for watching. See you next week.